win best t-shirt and background combo of the day?
I will say thank you, and I wish you were handing out a prize.
Yeah.
But jumping into first of all, bunch of questions for you guys. Rita, I know you haven't acted as much as Jack, but I'm still going to ask this question for both of you. If someone has actually never seen anything you've acted in before, what is the first thing you want them watching and why?
Well, I had to go first because obviously Jack's books are deeper than mine in this department, but I'd like to consider myself a very serious actress in the sense of picking the right characters for me. I love to be able to have the opportunity to curate what I'd like to do in this field, and I'm very grateful for that. You know, I think for me, I'd love them to really start with my music videos, because I think with my music videos, you get a sense of my presence first on camera and also my communication with others. And, you know, it was also a world that I created, which I'm really proud of. So it's a mixture of creative control and inspiration and presence. So I'll start with that.
So when you work on your music videos, do you collaborate with the directors and like kind of co-direct in a way?
Well, I kind of have the idea in my mind, and then whoever I pick to help me direct it really just brings that to life and adds elements that I wouldn't necessarily think of, because I'm very open to collaborating. You know, I think that's such an important part of being creative. And I think that's why I'm here today, to be able to collaborate with Jack Black and do things that I never really thought I could do. So this is a huge achievement for me and something that I'd love to continue doing.
Yeah, I agree with you. The key is collaboration, and when you have that kind of relationship with the director, that's the kind of thing that I'm the most proud of too. Like probably my proudest moment in the industry is not the biggest hit, but Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny, because it's the only movie that I was in that I wrote, and that, you know, I worked so closely with the director, and it was like a collaboration through and through, producing and, you know, and
Amazing.
yeah, it's just a great experience. So I'd want people to pick a Destiny, even though I'm really just clowning around super duper hard. It's also my baby.
Rita, this is your first time voicing a character like this on a series like this. What surprised you about making an animated series and voicing a character that perhaps you weren't expecting going in?
You know, I thought I was going to have to repeat myself endlessly. You know, I thought it was like, oh, let's do this again, or let's do this part again, but there's no time. And I think that's why I loved doing TV animation. Honestly, there's so many episodes, so much to get done, that you're really going in once a week or once every couple of weeks, and you're just going through the episodes, you know. So it's always something exciting. You're seeing like new characters. Obviously, we're not always in the same room, so there's a lot of experimenting, and I love getting like in with my project. So I was really into sort of like getting involved, figuring out who this character is, because I'm up against iconic characters. You know what I'm saying? You've got two people that we characters, animations, Poe and Miss Ping, and you know, you've got these characters that have existed for a long time. So how am I going to stand amongst these ledges is what I'd like to say in the UK, ledge. But I think Wandering Blade herself has really sustained the test of time with her wicked, powerful ways in a really strong woman way. I hope I've answered your question.
You're 100%. Jack, if I'm not mistaken, this is your first time voicing Poe since Kung Fu Panda 3.
Yeah.
And so what was it? And I know they've done some other animated things. What was it about this story, and what was it about, you know, why you wanted to come back now? What drew you back in?
Well, I got the call from Netflix, and they were saying, "We know you've only done the movies, but would you be interested in reprising your role in a series?" And they told me the idea of it, and it just sounded intriguing because it was a higher stakes and more of a global story than the original movies that just took place in China. This took place all over the world, with different cultures and different characters, and Rita Ora's character, which is this strong woman character who kicks ass, but also has secrets and vulnerabilities, and it just seemed like an awesome new adventure, and honestly, it just seemed like a lot of fun. And I liked Peter, the director, and his vision for where it would go over the course of the series. So it was a no-brainer, really.
The fourth episode has Poe really obsessed with a comic book, and really, that's a big part of the story, and how the comic book plays into the series. So it made me think, for both of you, what was something when you were growing up that you were really obsessed with, or even now, something that you're really obsessed with the way Poe is with the comic?
I was obsessed with comics, actually, too. I was really deep into Frank Miller's, like, The Dark Knight, and his run that he did with what's the blind guy in the red suit? Daredevil.
Wow.
And Alan Moore,
Yeah.
The Watchmen. Yeah, that's what
I mean,
how about you, Rita?
I loved comic books, but I loved, when I was growing up, I was into kids' books. I was like Cat in the Hat and The Caterpillar and all these really interesting books. There was this one book about a lighthouse that I'll never forget. And I think it's called The Lighthouse. And I always used to read it. And I'm going to try and find it, but it's just those sort of like books that have those same pictures that I think were really interesting for me anyway. I loved that, things like that. I actually just put in an auction for the first edition of Dr. Seuss Cat in the Hat.
Oh, man.
The book. I know. I don't think I'm going to get it though.
Some of his paintings, he also has like fine artwork paintings that go for top dollar now.
I know. I mean, I just thought I like collecting books, like additional, first edition books. So that was something I enjoyed. Anyway, yeah.
My favorite was The Birthday Bird. It's kind of a lesser known Dr. Seuss book. I
Yeah,
love to read
that's a
that
good one too.
every day, even when it wasn't my birthday. Love to read.
One of the things about the voice recording process that I think must be interesting is when you have to record all like the efforts, when you're making those weird sounds, when you're going up a hill or down, or you have to react to something. What is it like, or what was it like for both of you guys in the recording booth when you have to not do the dialogue, but all those other sound effects?
Well, it's in a way that's like the most effort goes into those, and I always say, can we save those for the very end, because I'm gonna blast my throat out on those. And so we do all my dialogue stuff and the emotional stuff, and then when it comes to that stuff, yeah, I go balls to the walls. Okay, I go 1,000%. I only have one gear, so if I'm diving off a cliff and like blasting through a wall, I'm really gonna make those noises, and I'm gonna work up a sweat. Peter, our director, made fun of me because it's cardio.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be some behind the scenes, so you see I'm not joking. I'm actually, I'm it's life or death in that recording studio.
I'm the same. I think, you're doing animation on, our characters jumping off cliffs, running like off literal mountains and boats, and it's insane. So you can't just stand still. Like, we really are running up and down in these studio rooms. But yeah, I don't really enjoy those moments, but I do like being able to let loose. I use it as therapy.
You got to dress to move too. You can't be wearing any jewelry or anything you can't have any jingly janglies. You got to be really just like sweats, t-shirt, kick off the shoes, because it's going to get real physical.
On that note, I need to stop. I'm just going to say, I hope the series is a huge hit for you guys, and thank you so much for giving me your time.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.